And maybe part of what we need is a paradigm shift as well, that while we're working to help the students, we also need to think about the system itself, a system that almost mandates waste as part of the system. And so one of the paradigms that I think is really useful is to think about schools not as factories but as ecosystems. And the ecological model has become very prominent lately, and we see it in a lot of areas. But what it is at its heart is it understands the interconnected web and those processes that really define a community. And that's in the end what schools are. They are ecosystems. They're made up of smaller subsystems of classes and students and teachers, but they're also nested within larger subsystems of families and communities and neighborhoods and society in general. And if as educators, and particularly as school counselors, we can start to change our perspective of what that looks like, I think it'll have some fundamental changes for how we work with students. And one of the things is knowing that we need to understand who students are within their multiple contexts, that they're not just students, but they're also sons and daughters and sisters and brothers and friends, and often caregivers and employees, and all of those parts of their identity are really important, and they're not often, and they bring those identities with them into the classroom and into the school, and that is an opportunity for them to really contribute. But sometimes we don't see all those pieces, and it limits our understanding. And another part of systems that I think is important is unlike the factory model, diversity is necessary and it's adaptive within the system. It's what enables us to be flexible when changes outside the world come in and cause us to be flexible. We have to depend on our diversity, and if we don't have that, we become stale and our students become less relevant. And in a world now where we are expected to reach out and connect with people with vastly different backgrounds than we have, and where technology is changing so quickly that it's fundamentally changing the landscape of job. This idea of a standardized learner, it just isn't relevant anymore, and we need to embrace what everyone has to contribute to the community as a whole and look to create sustainability. And so I hope as school counselors we can include that in the conversation as we work to help students, and we can't let that piece of it go, but also think about how do we create a system that really embraces what people bring to the table and how to help those students succeed and be contributing members of society in whatever that means to them.